used to overthink my arm training for years, and I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I did. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the 3 most common mistakes I see with people trying to grow their arms and how to avoid the mistakes that I made. You see, for some reason, people treat the arms and abs especially differently to other muscle groups and think that they grow in a different way. So if you're there pumping out endless sets of bicep curls and then the weights never go up in the gym, you're actually neglecting the main principle of muscle growth, which is progressive overload, meaning more reps or weight over time. So if you think about it like this, even if you're doing 8 different bicep exercises, if 6 months down the line you're still lifting the same weight in terms of the dumbbells you're lifting, then why would your arms ever grow? Your arms are not going to get bigger unless the weights you are doing get heavier over time. So what I used to do was pump out tons of different variations, get distracted from the main core exercises I was doing for my arms, kept adding more sets on and new exercise variations. I found a new bicep curl or a new tricep exercise. But if that then means that your overall ability to recover is impaired and you can't actually increase the weights over time, that's where you've really got to take a step back and figure out, what exercises do I actually connect with? Where do I actually feel my arms working? Pick 2 or 3 exercises instead of 8 and focus more on progressive overload, which is adding more weight over time to make sure those arms are growing. The second most common mistake is tagging your arm exercises on at the end of a heavy workout when you're already tired and fatigued. This means your performance is going to drop. Naturally, as you get more tired, performance decreases, your ability to actually use the muscles that we're looking to train is going to decrease. So if you're looking to grow your arms, they need to be a priority in your training, and you've got a couple of options here. So you can put your arms earlier in the session. So say you're doing a leg day, doing a couple of sets of bicep curls before you go into legs. It's not really going to impact your leg training. So there's one idea there. The other thing you can look at is just moving them a bit earlier in your session. Now, biceps will get some stimulus in a pull day, so back and biceps. If you're doing rows, heavy pull downs, you're still going to get a bit of stimulus in your forearms and biceps. And also on a push day, you're going to be using your triceps when you're doing any pushing motion, such as a overhead press or a bench press or some form of chest press. So you will be getting a bit of stimulus on these arm muscles, so it may be a good idea to train your arms on a different day when you're fresh, or at least put them earlier in the session. Another idea is just doing a full arm day, and as I said, you don't need that many exercise variations. A full arm day could be 2 tricep exercises, 2 biceps, maybe a hammer curl. That's you done. Going back to the bigger picture on this second key mistake of doing it when you're tired, is it all relates to progressive overload on the first point. So even if you're doing your arm exercises towards the end of your session, but the weights are still going up and you're applying progressive overload, you probably will still be building muscle, but you're just going to be doing it at a slightly slower rate than if arms become a priority in your training. So if you're watching this and you really want to grow those arms, reprioritize your training and accept that you can't prioritize everything at once, and move your arms to earlier in the sessions or on a separate day. The third key mistake is doing too many variations. Now, I've alluded to this earlier. What do you actually need to grow the full area of the arms? Forearms for most people is going to come down to genetics, and when you're doing rowing or heavy deadlifts and you're having to grip the bar, that's when you're going to be using your forearms anyway. So I don't even think a reverse curl for forearms is necessary for most people. You can throw in one if you want to, and that is a priority area. For the upper arm, we're looking at hitting the biceps, the triceps, and then a muscle called the brachialis, which sits under the long head of the bicep, and that's used when we do hammer curls. So you want to be doing different arm positions for your curls. 1 or 2 exercises for biceps, which is going to be palm facing the ceiling, 1 hammer curl in this grip position, neutral grip, and then a couple of tricep exercises. And because triceps make up 2/3 of the arm, you probably want to be prioritizing triceps. I would hit 2 different variations for your arms for triceps, which could be some form of push down where you're getting your arm back behind your body like this, and then for a bit of variation, if you want to do an overhead variation of triceps, or a different type of push down or dip, for example, that's fine as well. So 2 triceps, 1 hammer curl, 2 biceps max. And since I started doing this, my arms blew up in the last couple of years. I stripped back from doing 8 to 10 exercises doing too many variations. Stay focused on the exercises that you've got and only swap out exercises when they stall and you can't increase the weights any further, or you just get sick of doing the same routine over and over again, because muscle growth will get boring eventually. So make sure you stick to some consistent exercises for a period of time, apply progressive overload, get some arm exercises that you connect with, but don't overdo it and stick to, say, 4 or 5 exercises for your arms. That's all you really need, and that is how I built bigger arms with fewer exercises in the gym and actually probably spending less time training them. I hope you found these tips useful. If you did, drop the video a like, hit subscribe for more simple fat loss and muscle building tips. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you. See ya.